I created an account called Edmin, but when I requested my data, Juice Shop gave me administrator's orders. The strange part is, I did not change the export request, I did not replace a user ID, and I did not use an injection payload. The clue that made this possible was hidden inside a completely normal checkout. But that wasn't the only place where Juice Shop trusted the wrong identity. So let's get to it. I started by logging in as John, and for the password I used the one that I created in the previous episode. Now, after logging in, I opened DevTools. Then I went to Storage and opened Session Storage. Inside Session Storage, I found a key named BID, and in my case, its value was 6, and this is the identifier of the basket connected to John's session. But because this value was stored inside the browser, I could change it, so I changed the BID from 6 to 1. Then I opened the basket, and instead of loading John's basket, Juice Shop showed me another user's basket. That basket already contained 3 products. Now I needed to find out if I could also modify the basket. So I returned to DevTools and changed the BID from 1 back to 6. Then I turned the intercept on and enabled Foxy Proxy. Back on the website, I added a product to the basket. Perp first intercepted this request, but this request only loads the contents of basket number 6. It does not add the new product. So I forwarded this request. Then Burp intercepted this one, and this was the request responsible for adding the product, so I sent this request to Repeater. And this was the body, and basically this request is saying add 1 unit of product number 33 to basket 6, but I wanted to see if I could add the product to another user's basket. I wanted to see if I could add the product to basket number 1. So, instead of replacing the original basket ID, I added a second basket ID parameter, and the body became like this. I sent the request and the server returned 200. The challenge was solved, but I still wanted to verify if the product had really been added to the other basket. So I returned to DevTools and opened Session Storage again. Then I changed the BID from 6 back to 1. Then I opened the basket and the new product was there, guys. Basket number 1 now contained the product that I added while logged in as John. After solving that, I stayed logged in as John, and I wanted to see what information Juice Shop would reveal during the checkout process. So I clicked Checkout, I added an address and I submitted it. Then I selected the address and clicked Continue. I chose a delivery option and continued again. After that, I added a new credit card and submitted it. I selected the new credit card and clicked Continue, and then placed the order. While doing this, I captured the requests with Burp. So I caught the request used to place the order, but I also caught another request used to track it. Now, the response from the tracking request contained something interesting. John's email address was partially redacted. Instead of showing the full email, the response showed this one here, and when I compared the two values, I noticed a pattern. The vowels had been replaced with asterisks. At first, this may look like a normal privacy feature. The application is trying to avoid exposing the complete email address, but changing information can also create a problem if that changed value is later used to identify a user. So I had an idea. If the application redacts vowels, what happens when two different email addresses become identical after their vowels are removed? Now, we already know the administrator's email. So I wanted to create another email address that would produce the same redacted result. Instead of admin, I used admin. The A and the E are different letters. but they are both vowels, and if both letters are replaced with an asterisk, the difference disappears. So I logged out of John's account, then I went to the login page and clicked Not Yet a Customer. Then I registered a new account using Edmin. I entered the password, selected a security question and provided an answer. And then I logged in as the new admin user. Now I wanted to export the information connected to this account. So I went to Account, then I went to Privacy and Security, and from there I selected Request.export. I chose JSON as the export format and clicked Request. In Juice Shop downloaded a JSON file. The name inside the file was connected to admin, but when I looked at the rest of the information, something was wrong, because the file contained orders and products that did not belong to my new account. So, whose information was this? I suspected that the application had confused admin with admin, because both email addresses produced the same redacted value. But I did not want to stop at an assumption and I wanted to verify it, so I logged out of the admin account and logged in as admin. Then I opened Account, I went to Orders and Payments and selected Order History. Inside the administrator's order history, I could see the order IDs, and those order IDs were the same ones contained in the JSON file downloaded by admin, and that confirmed it. After retrieving another user's data, I wanted to see if I could also submit something under another user's identity. So I logged in as John, then I opened the side menu and selected Customer Feedback. I wrote a comment, selected a rating and solved the CAPTCHA. Then I clicked Submit and intercepted the request with burp. Now this time I did not send the request to Repeater. I inspected the request directly in the Intercept tab, and the body contained these parameters. This request reminded me of what happened with the basket. There I added a second basket ID. So here I wanted to know what would happen if I added a second user ID. So I changed the body to this. I forwarded the request and returned to the website. And the challenge was solved, guys. After being able to submit feedback as another user, I thought I might be able to do something similar with a product review. So I returned to the main page and opened a product. Then I wrote a review and I clicked Submit and I intercepted the request. Now inside the Intercept tab, I found this request body. This time I did not add a duplicate parameter. I only changed the email from this to this, and the body became like this. Then I forwarded the request and returned to the website, and the challenge was solved. But I wanted to verify the results, so I opened the product where I had posted the review, and there it was. The comment I wrote was displayed under the administrator's email. After seeing my comment displayed as if it had been written by admin, I remembered something from the administration page. By logging in as admin, I could access customer feedback and delete entries. So I logged out of John's account and logged in as admin. Then I opened the administration endpoint that we discovered in a previous video, and inside the administration page I found the 5-star feedback entry. Then I deleted it and another challenge was solved. And that's it, guys. I hope this video helped you in any way, and if it did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more content like this. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Stay curious and stay safe. Bye bye!